Hello everybody, today we're going to be making this squiggly vase on the pottery wheel and I hope you enjoy the video. So first of all, you're going to want a big lump of clay. Today we have 5.5 kilos here and we're going to be doing it in the pottery wheel. We're going to be sitting here to a medium speed, attaching the clay really well to the wheel, and now we're going to center the piece, which is always the first step for any type of piece. Cups, mugs, bowls, vases, airplanes. Not airplanes. And the way you do it is, the way you center clay is by first adding pressure from the bottom to make a little space in the bottom. And then you can bring up the entire piece of clay into a cone. You want to do this about 2 or 3 times. But again, in order to center, you have to bring it up into a cone. A little bit more, add some more water because I feel like it's a little bit dry. Add a little more speed and continue to go higher and higher and higher. That's how you center clay, which is the first step to making any absolute piece. Let's make this a little bit more perfect. And just so you know, I'm applying a little bit of pressure from the top and a little bit of pressure from the side. And then once I'm ready, I want to leave it gently. Look at what happens if I leave it strong. Boom! It comes off the center. So you have to hold it and then leave with a little bit of love, always. You don't, you go, So once you feel like it's centered, once your piece of clay is centered, you can now go ahead and open the hole. The reason you want to open the hole is because it's going to be the inside of your cup. So I'm going to put nail with nail, like a little schmetterling, a butterfly, and I'm going to apply pressure through the center until I start making a hole. How deep am I going to go? I'm going to try to leave around 1.5, maybe 2 centimeters on the bottom, so I can maybe have a little bit of a safer bottom. If you go all the way down, well, you're going to be in trouble because you're going to have a hole in your piece. Good. Once you've opened the main hole, you're going to use these 2 fingers, like Spider-Man or rock and roll, however you want to remember it. And I'm going to put my 2 fingers in and push with the tips of my fingers and hold with the rest of my fingers. Okay. So again, I'm going to push towards me with the tips of my fingers and the rest of the piece will follow. Out, 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 out. It's kind of a weird thing to say, but in pottery, if you want to go up, you first have to go out. Why? I have no absolute clue. I've been doing this 12 years and I still don't know why, but it's just kind of how it works. All right, so to bring it up, I'm going to leave those 2 rock and roll fingers on the inside and my whole palm on the outside. Now, when we expanded it, there was pressure from the inside to the outside. Now I'm going to go from outside to inside, applying pressure to the center in a small diagonal, and I'm going to go taller and taller and taller. And that's how you raise the clay. There's another way to raise the clay. And to do so is the same exact technique as the coning. I'm going to put the pressure at the bottom to make this little dent. And then that little dent with that little ball, I'm going to bring it up and hold and hold and hold and go up in a small diagonal while my right thumb kind of holds a little bit. If you're left-handed, maybe it's going to be your left thumb that's holding. And this is what you would call a cylinder. Now, I'm going to make it a little bit taller so we can have a little bit more of a squiggly effect. And I'm going to bring my left hand inside, but again, sexy moment. Now to raise it, once I have one hand in and one hand out on my symmetrical cylinder, I can either go with my palm or my 3 fingers. I'm going to go ahead and do it with my 3 fingers so you can see one way. And I'm going to apply a little bit pressure from the outside and a little bit of pressure from the inside. And again, I want to go a little bit straighter on this one and keep going and going and going. I'm gonna again apply some pressure from the inside and then bring my clay a little bit higher. And now I have a healthy tall cylinder with 5.5 kilograms to now make the shape out of this. Again, we're gonna make the squiggly vase, and the squiggly vase is a little bit tricky, but what you wanna make is put your hand inside, 3 fingers on the outside, and draw the squiggles. You're not pushing each of them, you're drawing the whole squiggles and then adjusting. And squiggly time. So I'm gonna apply pressure from the inside, open up, draw in, draw out, go up, draw in, draw out, go up, draw in, go up, draw out, go up, draw in, and now I'm going to close it up here so it exaggerates that movement. And here. This is usually where I want to stop, adjust the rim, and now I'm going to make it a little bit prettier. I'm going to make it a little prettier by applying a little bit pressure here, going up, applying pressure here, going up, applying pressure here, going up, applying pressure here, closing up as much as I can on my rim. It's going to get a little bit deformed because I'm pressuring a lot of it on the rim. And then I'm going to use my little sword to cut the rim. There we go. I cut the rim. I fix it up really, really nicely. I'm going to close it up as much as I can. There we go. And now I'm going to expand this as far as I can without breaking it. Make it nice and smooth. And I have my squiggly vase. Before drying it, you're going to want a little bit of a SpongeBob. And then you're going to clean the outside a little bit so that slip does not mess with your shape. How to know when your piece of clay is dry enough. If you have a clean finger and you run your finger through the piece and it's still clean, that's when it's dry enough. But you have to do it in the right moment. If it's too dry, you won't be able to cut it. So do it in the exact moment where you can run your finger and it's not gonna come out dirty. Okay, now with this little piece of wood, any pointy thing with a straight outside would work. I'm gonna point it downwards with the flat side looking towards the piece, and I'm gonna cut from top to bottom and draw my last squiggle. You don't have to do it in one go if you don't want to mess it up, but it's good to go consistent down and do not change too much on the pressure. And then run my sword through the bottom until I reach the other side. You have to kind of be careful to not go too far so you don't damage your piece. And then you can go ahead and cut that, hold here, and look at how that comes out. Now to take it off, it's already dry enough. I don't need water to take it out. I can just do it straight with my wire, grab it with my hands, and take it out. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more.